Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. This is Soham and today we are going to learn about developing a basic interactive game using Python. Our main purpose of developing this game is to learn about some basic yet fundamental concepts in every programming languages like assigning variables, conditional branching like if and else, then using break statement, using print statement, using taking user inputs from the console, etc. So the game is about guessing a number which computer has guessed, and you will have a limited or some specific number of chances by which you have to guess what computer thinks. So let's directly get into the code and see each line by line how each statement is working and why it is written here. So let us start analyzing from the very first line of the code. As you can see in the screen, the first line here is the import statement, and I'm importing random module. So what it does actually, this statement is basically importing a module called random. Now what is a module? You can think of a module as a generic set of code written by the developers to use it generically in any programming languages, and it serves a specific kind of purposes. Let's say, for example, this random module contains a function called randint. You don't have to bother, you don't have to worry about how the source code is written, how it is working. You just need to use a function with the proper syntax as mentioned in the associated documents. Like here, I am using one of its functions called randint with the proper syntax. So this randint function is written in this module, and I'm importing this module in the first line so that my program can understand that random.randint is a function which is written in this module, and this module is already included in this program. So my first line is random, import random rather. Now coming to the next line, I'm assigning this output of this random.randint function into the secret number. Now, as you have already guessed it, that randint function itself is basically, the name is its self-explanatory. So what is basically doing is I'm passing two arguments. The initial one is 1 and the last one is 7. So this function will generate a random number between 1 to 7. We don't know how and what number is going to generate, and I am assigning it to a variable called secret number. So this is the number that computer thinks, a computer have assumed. Now the interaction comes. The next statement is print statement. So print statement is used here to print a string into the console. So I'm printing, hey, I'm thinking of a number between 1 and 7. Can you guess it? By default, every print statement includes a null character after every string. So even though I haven't passed anything, it will, after printing this string, it will automatically place a new line, so that when I'm going to print the next line, next print, it will come after the line of this print statement. You'll see when I'm going to run this program. So what basically I'm doing is I'm printing in the console that, hey, I'm thinking of number between such and such. Can you guess it? You'll have 6 chances. Would you like to play this game? Press 1 for yes and press 2 for no. So I'm giving user options whether he or she is going to play this or not. And now I am expecting user input. So here is the statement. This input function is used for taking input from the console. Okay, now I have used a wrapper function int. Why I'm using it? Because I am converting it into int. It's a typecasting. So, but yeah, here is a concern. If the user is somehow pressed like Soham or some strings, my program won't work. I'll show you. So I'm assigning this user input to user choice variable. So once I have this user's choice, I have to check what the user choice is, and that's because this is my deciding factor whether the user is going to play the game or not. Now here comes the conditional checking. So in the next line I'm checking if user choice is equal to 1. Now equal to is used for comparison operator, and a single equal to is used for assignment operator. So now I'm checking whether this variable user choice is equals to 1 or not. If it is equals to 1, which means that user is going to play the game. So this is the portion of code that I'm going to execute. If not, if user is giving 2 or something else, then I'm going to print that exiting, means user is not willing to play the game, so I'm exiting the program. Now let us assume that user has given 1 and wants to play the game. Now here comes the logic of the game. Here, this is a for loop. It's a very, very important concept in any programming languages. For loop, which basically used for loop over a particular piece of code with a basic condition or with a predefined number. So this is the for loop structure for some variable. Here it is guess count in a particular range. The range is 1 to 6, which means that the loop will start from 1 and continue till it reaches 6. So the first loop, the numbering of this looping is like, the first loop is 1, then the second loop is 2, then 3, and till 6 it will continue to loop through this code until it meets with a certain condition. So this is the starting of our for loop. Okay, so let us assume that we are in the loop number 1, and we will examine each code in this for loop. So the first statement inside this for loop is print provide your guess. Now as the user has accepted that he or she is going to play the game, so my first line to the user would be provide your guess, what you are thinking of that number. Again, I'm using this input function to accept user input from the console. Once the user inputs his or her guessed number, then I'm going to compare this with the number that computer has already guessed and assign it to secret number. So this is the number that user has already given, and this is the variable that contains the computer decided number. Now, if user input is less than secret number, let's say for example secret number contains 5 and user input is 3, so 3 less than 5, and I'm giving a user a hint that hey, your guess is a bit low from what the computer has already guessed, and if it is greater than the guess number, then I'm printing this number, your guess is too high. So either it will greater than the number that computer is assuming, or less than, or it should be equal to. There cannot be any fourth condition, right? So if you see, this is my first condition, checking if the user's input is less than the secret number. If it is not, then I'm again checking another condition with else if command, that if it is greater than a secret number, else I'm breaking the loop, means I don't want to continue this loop because either the user have guessed it correctly, means the user input is equal to secret number, or user has exhausted the number of chances he or she is going to have, or she is having, means the loop number has crossed 6 or has executed loop number 6. That's why I'm using the break statement. Okay, so once this condition satisfies, either the user is guessed it correct or the loop has already been exhausted, then the control of this will directly come to this one. So here I'm checking if user input is equals to the secret number, which means user has guessed it correctly. So I'm printing great, you have guessed it right. Else I'm printing sorry, you have lost all your chances. Okay, and here, as I've already explained, then print exiting. This is basically, if you see the structure, because in Python indentation plays a crucial role here. If you see the code by its structure, you can say what code are there under which, like which if conditions, which for loop, which while loop, etc. So it is clearly visible that this else part is a part of this if condition. So if user choice is 1, I'm going to execute this code. If it is not satisfying this condition, then I'm going to execute this code. So it's that simple. So let's run the code and see how it is working. Now let me maximize the console. See here. Hey, I'm thinking of a number between 1 and 7. Can you guess it? So it's better to have the code in front of us as well. So it is executing this. So the computer has already assigned its number into secret number variable, and this two line has just been executed. Okay. So I'm pressing 1 and I want to play the game. So I'm giving 1 here and press enter. So as I've given 1, the control comes here. Okay. So this is going to be our first loop, and we are inside our first loop, and it is waiting for my input. So it has printed provide your guess and waiting for my input. Let's say I'm giving input as 2 maybe. Then I'm hitting enter, and it is saying your guess is too low, means the number that computer has assumed is somewhat greater than 2. Okay, so what the code actually does, so it satisfies this condition, right? Because my input is less than secret number. That's why it is saying that your guess is too low. And as this condition satisfies, it's again going into this loop, and it is becoming loop number 2. Now I'm giving input as 3. Let's say for 3. It is still showing that your guess is too low, and I have entered loop number 3. I'm entering 4. It is still showing that your guess is too low. So let's give it as 5. Okay, I have last chance because I'm already exhausted that loop number 5, and I'm into loop number 6. So if I miss this, anyway, I'm going to see. So this is the thing, your guess is too low. So I couldn't make the right guess, and it is saying that sorry, you have lost all your chances because I have exhausted all the chances, which means that I have exhausted 6 loops, but I couldn't able to guess that number. So it is printing this portion. Okay, let's have another chance. Let me run it again. Okay, it is running. Okay, sorry, I have done something wrong by typo. Line 4. Okay, this one is here. Control 5. I think it will run successfully now. Yeah, okay. Pressing 1. I'm willing to play this game. 3. Your guess is too low. 6. Okay, done. So I have made it, which means if you consider this loop, in the loop number 2, none of this condition satisfies because here user input is become equals to secret number. That's why this break statement happens, and the control is getting out of this for loop and directly hits here, and it satisfies the condition and it is printing great. You have guessed it right. So this is the thing. So I would suggest that this is a program where there is ample scope of improving it further, improving in the sense of interaction, improving in the sense of decorations. Like you can do multiple things here. You can variabilize this range, you can variabilize chances, you can ask user how many chances you want, and you can ask even user the range of the number that you want computer to guess, etc. So I would like to suggest you to build your own interactive game by putting into your own features, and you can comment on the comment section how you're thinking that you're going to improve it. So that's it. If you have enjoyed this video, do like, share and subscribe. Thank you.